take a look at what I have written on this board. And if you have a whiteboard and markers, I'd love for you to write it down as well. And then I want you to think about, what does this mean? Why do I have an equal sign here in the middle? And I have two different number sentences on either side, or two different equations. Can I do that? I always thought that when I write an equal sign that I put the answer on that side, and that's the only way that we can represent a number sentence. But in this one, I have a subtraction equation, and then I have another subtraction equation with a missing number. Am I allowed to do that? Is that okay? Well, the answer is yes, because an equal sign that's represented right here is a mathematical term that means the same. So whenever you see this equal sign, you can start telling yourself that this means the same as. So instead of saying equal, I like to say same as. So let's restate what we have using that word instead. 6 minus 4 is the same as something minus 6. Okay, so now that I know that it means that it's like a scale and the two things on either side are going to be the same, how could I figure out what's going to go in that box? What could I do? I want you to pause the video and I want you to think about that. I want you to picture a scale where there is an even balance and both sides have to be the same. How could we use what we know about one side to find what would go on the other side? And then I want you to come back so we can talk about it. Now that you've looked at this, did you picture that scale in your head? Did you think about what would go on one side versus the other? So here's what I noticed. On this side of the scale, I don't have a number. That could be anything. So I've got to use the other side of the equal sign. And I have to think about what I know about this one. So if I were to write this down as 6 minus 4 equals something, right? I could solve this. I know what 6 take away 4 is. That's 2. So I know that this side of the equal side says that it's going to be 2. So it's almost like me saying 2 is the same as something that's going to be over here. Now how am I going to use that to figure out what this missing number is? Well, let's keep thinking. If I want it to be the same as 2, then I know that whatever goes here is going to have to be equal to 2. So let's rewrite this. I'm going to rewrite this as something that I don't know, minus 6 equals 2. Now this is tricky because I don't know what the starting number is, whereas in this one, I could just take away. So let's use what we know about part, whole to see if we could figure this out. So I know that this is the whole, and I don't know what that is, but I do know that when I take away a part, I'm going to have another part that is 2. So what could the whole be? When 6 and 2 are put together, they're going to make 8. So what does that mean? That means that if I put 8 in here, 8 take away 6 is 2. So I could put 8 here, and that's going to give me 2 when I look at these and I say 6 take away 4 is the same as 8 take away 6. Now, what's tricky about this is we're talking about a lot of things. We're talking about a number sentence and an equation. We're talking about an answer, and we're saying that instead of having answer is equal to answer, we're saying this number sentence or equation is the same as this number sentence and equation. And that is tricky, but totally doable. So I want you to think for a second. We just came up with 6 take away 4 is equal to or the same as 8 take away 6. What if I asked you to come up with another one? What if I said, show me another one where you could say something over here is the same? So I know that this was 2. So what could I put on this side that would be the same? Can you think of a lot of possibilities? Because the answers are endless. Do you know you can do ones with subtraction signs, addition symbols? You can do a lot of different things. So before you go, I want you to pause the video and try this out, and then come back and I'll give you one of my examples. So I'm thinking about this one, and I want to make this really fun. So I'm going to think of an addition number sentence that could go on this side. So if I want this to be the same as 2, guess what I could do? I could do 1 plus 1. Is 1 plus 1 2? Yeah. And that's the same as what's over here. What's something else I could do? I could do 2 and 0. What else could I do? I could do 5 minus 3. There are lots of possibilities because all I'm trying to do is come up with another number sentence that is the same as having the answer as this side. That's the beauty of the equal sign. And you know, this skill that we're starting here, it's going to carry over as you move on in your math journey, as you start understanding algebra and the way that numbers work together. So just think about this. Picture balance in your head and remember that that equal sign is same as, and you want things to be the same on both sides.